In a small village in Ireland, there was a gravedigger named Seamus. Known as a quiet and hard-working man, Seamus lived alone in a small house near an ancient graveyard that had existed for centuries. The graveyard held many eerie tales, but Seamus never paid them any mind. To him, it was just a workplace point one night. After burying a recently deceased villager, Seamus decided to work late. It was a full moon, and the clear sky bathed the graveyard in a soft yet haunting light. As Seamus dug a new grave for the next burial, a cold wind whispered through the tombstones in an unknown language. When his shovel hit something hard, Seamus stopped. He dug deeper and uncovered an old wooden chest buried much deeper than usual. Covered in dust and moss, the chest had clearly been underground for many years. His curiosity got the better of him, and Seamus opened the chest to find an ancient book bound in black leather with strange symbols on the cover. Taking the book back to his house, Seamus began to read. It was filled with old notes and Latin spells. On the last page, there was a picture of a large black door with the inscription, "This door opens only for those who dare to challenge death." Despite feeling a shiver of fear, Seamus's curiosity overpowered his apprehension. The following night, Seamus returned to the graveyard with the book. He stood in the center of the graveyard and read aloud one of the spells. Suddenly, the ground in front of Seamus trembled, and a large black door emerged from the earth, just as depicted in the book. With his heart pounding, Seamus opened the door and stepped into the darkness. Inside, he found a long corridor filled with moving shadows. He continued walking until he reached a large room with an altar in the center. On the altar lay a black coffin with golden inscriptions. "Here lies the Master of Darkness." Before Seamus could react, the shadows in the room began to move toward him, enveloping his body and draining his energy. Seamus felt his strength ebbing away and collapsed to the floor. The coffin on the altar then opened, and a tall figure with glowing red eyes emerged. This was the Master of Darkness, awakened from his slumber. The Master of Darkness laughed wickedly at the sight of Seamus's weakened body. "Thank you for waking me," he said in a chilling voice. "As a reward, you will be the guardian of this door forever." Seamus could only moan in pain as the shadows bound him to the black door. From that night on, the small Irish village was haunted by Seamus's screams, echoing from the graveyard. Villagers often saw dark shadows moving around the graveyard at night, and none dared to approach the place again. Seamus, the curious gravedigger, was now trapped in eternal darkness, becoming the guardian of the door that should never be opened again. Since Seamus's disappearance, the small village had been engulfed in fear. Every night, screams and eerie whispers emanated from the graveyard. The villagers dared not approach, and rumors about Seamus's ghost guarding the black door spread quickly. Several brave souls who attempted to investigate vanished without a trace. In the midst of this fear, a young priest named Father Liam arrived in the village. Father Liam was an expert in the occult and exorcism. He had heard the terrifying stories about the graveyard and decided to investigate. Armed with courage and strong faith, Father Liam prepared himself to face whatever darkness lay ahead. On the next full moon night, Father Liam entered the graveyard, carrying a silver cross, holy water, and a prayer book. He felt the cold, tense air and the whispers trying to frighten him. Nevertheless, Father Liam walked steadily towards the center of the graveyard, where the black door was located. Upon reaching the black door, Father Liam prayed, asking for God's protection. He saw shadows moving around him, but remained calm. Father Liam opened his prayer book and began reciting an exorcism prayer. The shadows closed in, attempting to stop him, but Father Liam's faith was stronger. As the exorcism prayer reached its peak, the black door trembled and opened on its own. From the darkness, the figure of the Dark Lord emerged, his eyes glowing red, laughing wickedly. "Who dares disturb my slumber again?" he roared. Father Liam raised his silver cross and sprinkled holy water towards the figure. "In the name of God, I command you to return to the darkness from whence you came," he declared firmly. The holy water hit the Dark Lord, causing him to howl in pain. He tried to resist, but Father Liam's prayers and faith were more powerful. Meanwhile, Seamus, trapped in the black door, watched the battle unfold. In an instant, he realized this was his chance for freedom. With the remaining strength he had, Seamus prayed in his heart, asking for forgiveness and help. Light began to envelop his body, freeing him from the shadows that bound him. With the help of this light, Seamus rose and joined Father Liam in fighting the Dark Lord. The two figures united in faith and courage. The Dark Lord grew weaker, and finally, with Father Liam's final prayer, the dark figure vanished, returning to eternal darkness. The black door closed on its own, sealed forever. Seamus fell to his knees, crying with joy for his release. Father Liam approached and placed a hand on his shoulder. "You are free, Seamus. God forgives your sins and gives you a chance to make amends." Seamus thanked him sincerely, and with Father Liam's help, he left the graveyard for the last time. The small village returned to peace, no longer haunted by shadows and terrifying sounds. Seamus began a new life, helping those in need as a sign of his remorse and redemption. And Father Liam? He continued his journey, ready to help other villages that might face similar darkness. However, the story of their bravery and faith was passed down from generation to generation, a reminder that goodness and light always prevail over darkness.